Hello everyone and welcome to this live video. If you're watching the live, excuse me, if you're watching the live, please give me an hashtag live so I know you're watching. And if you are watching the replay, just give me an hashtag replay so um, I can see that you're watching and you're interested and this is actually valuable for you. So some time ago, I asked who wanted to get the roadmap and the strategy behind my client very big win success experience in the coaching program, where she literally lost 10 kilos in 16 weeks. And a bunch of you said they were interested. So here I am doing this live and breaking it down for you. So I hope this is valuable. If your goal is similar, or even if you have another goal, in the end, kind of the strategy behind it and how I work and what I think is powerful for you to understand and how to work with things. This should help you. So let me know in the comments if this makes sense, if you're here, if you have a similar goal, or even just if this is valuable for you. I'm doing this to reach as many people as possible, changing their lives, giving them like much better chances to actually succeed at what they want to achieve. So if this is valuable, let me know. If it's not valuable, let me know as well, because feedback is always good feedback. So my client came to me, and let's say the goal from the start, from the beginning, from the very beginning, was losing 10 kilos. We all know that numbers, in my world at least, don't really matter. My concern is always, how do you feel when you look in the mirror? How do you perform in your life? How can you be with your family, in your career? Um, do you really, do you love yourself? Do you feel good? Do you have a good life? And these are my goals. And of course, sometimes they come down to kilos, to numbers. Some other times there is much more deep within that we need to uncover. But in general, this was a clear goal, and we decided to go for it and see how that would take us. So the we set the goal in like 10 kilos and a bunch of other things, of course, like mentally and how you feel, and what you want to kind of like envision, how do you envision your life. Of course, we set the goal for like 5-6 months, and she achieved that in 16 weeks, so that is already like incredible. And it all comes down to the great work she did on herself, and that we were lucky, not lucky enough, not lucky, but we were good enough to actually put something in place that helped her achieving that. So what we just like, let's begin from the start, right? She came to me saying, I'm the master procrastinator. I always procrastinate. I stress eat. And I'm afraid of becoming like the rest of my family, that is not very healthy. It's not a good picture I give my kids. And I tried everything, all kind of diet plans or kind of diets and approaches, training different styles and all that, but nothing really helped, because I would go all in and do all these things, and maybe even succeed and lost like 10 kilos or something in that range, but I wouldn't be able to keep it up. So it wasn't sustainable. I would bring all the weight back, and this time it came back with a lot of more shame, guilt, frustration. And if you've ever been in such a journey, you know what I'm talking about. So it always goes even worse every time you try and not seeing results, and you do all this work. It's even more deteriorating. So the first thing we did was literally setting a goal, and understanding that, okay, the goal is the 10 kilos. Just because it's a number, we can track it, if that's what she felt was right for her. So we went with that. But of course, the other goals, as I said, were just feeling great looking in the mirror, um, feeling confident, and being able to smile and not talk harshly to herself, but just being compassionate. So we achieved that. And the things we did was, the very first thing, like number one, I usually do with clients, is we literally just go and look at, where are you at now? So what's your situation now? What are the difficult stuff? What is difficult? What are you managing? How does your life look like? How is your daily life look like? Your career, your family, the time you have for yourself, your free time. What do you do? So we went, took an inventory of how is your situation now, and most importantly, how is your situation now in terms of movement and nutrition, because we know those are two of the tools. They're not everything, but they're just two of the tools we can use to actually lower, your body weight, or change your body shape, or make you feel better in your health, like mental health and physical health. So we focused on doing what I call a diet screening. We went in and literally just looked at what she was eating on a regular basis. Everything that she was intaking and eating normally, we looked at that, and that gives us a good picture of, okay, if this is what you love to eat, if these are the things that are easy for you to make, that you enjoy with your family or you take at work, this is the first picture we have. Now let's go in and just start. Instead of starting a whole diet plan, instead of starting tracking calories and going crazy, the first step you can do is looking at what you're doing now. Literally take pictures of what you eat every day for like 7 days, and then go in and see what things can I change. If you have a little bit of knowledge, or you can kind of are confronted with the pictures, you understand, okay, maybe I can shift out, this food item with this other food item. And you're not restricting yourself, you're just making a better decision, an optimal decision based on the goals you have. So we literally went looking at those pictures, seeing what the situation was, and started bringing some very small changes. That by changing just those small things, it could bring a bigger difference to just her, to her daily life, and body composition even, right? So the first thing was that. And another thing we did, of course, was empowering her with the actual knowledge. What is going on in nutrition? When we eat this and this and this, how does the body react? What is, carbohydrates? What are proteins? Why do we need them? Why do we need vitamins? Why is it important to eat your veggies? All the things, like what is contained in what, so that if you have knowledge, you have power, right? So you don't need to worry about what you're doing, because you know what you're doing. And I was talking to her, and that was really a game changer for her. So understanding nutrition and finding, what is the best, easiest way to learn what food contains what, why are you eating what you're eating, that helped her immensely. And there is a power in this knowledge that, for example, just to give you a quick example that might kind of shed a little bit of light on it. It's she wasn't realizing, because of course we're like, not everybody's a nutritionist, right? She didn't know that almonds and like nuts in general are very high in calories. Meaning, if you eat a lot of nuts, you are gonna eat a lot of calories, and as healthy as they are, they're still very high in calories. So anything that is made of nuts or seeds, um, they will bring you a lot of calories. Which, if you think, oh, um, I don't eat chips, but then you figure out, oh, if I eat, almonds, it's actually the same amount of calories I'm eating. Are chips less healthy than almonds? Yes and no. It depends, right? Depends on the quantity, depends on why you're doing it, if it's like psychological. But in the end, the same amount of calories is contained. So if you don't know that, she was just like snacking on a lot of nuts and almonds, thinking that is very healthy. That's what the fitness industry says I should eat because it's a healthy thing. But it was bringing a lot of calories. So just shifting that and changing that into, take away a little bit of those nuts, not restrict yourself. That doesn't mean never eat nuts, or never eat sugar, or never drink alcohol. Not at all. We never had that approach. We had the approach of, you can eat anything you want, but now you know what contains what, so you know you can make a decision that is informed. So you have the power of deciding, do I want to eat more nuts and less bread, or do I want to eat more bread and less nuts? It's up to you. It's you feel more empowered. You make your own choices, but now you're informed, so you can make that decision yourself without stressing about it. And that was a big game changer for her. So we get to this kind of nutrition masterclass that I have. We go through it, and then we get some like guidelines of how should we approach nutrition. That was a big thing for her. So please notice it's not everybody needs to go through this, and not everybody has the same goals, but this what was working for her. So we had to understand, we had to set a goal, and we wanted to heal the stress eating. We wanted to train being present to each daily choice with regards to food and movement, and that's what we did. And the way that she chose to start approaching dieting, instead of going with diet plans, which I don't use because I don't believe in them, instead of being me deciding what she had to eat, I just introduced her to calorie tracking. And again, that is just a tool. She wanted to try it, we implemented it, and by calorie tracking, we just went on, not obsessively, but for a certain period of time, for a few weeks, she was tracking what she was eating. So she felt good about it and empowered, because she could see, oh, what I'm eating contains this and this, and makes me feel this way. Now it makes all sense. So that kind of gave her a picture, a better picture of what she was doing, and that helped her specifically. So I'm not giving, like, I'm not making people track calories unless they want to, unless they feel that's the way to go. A lot of people in the program eat intuitively. We teach how to eat intuitively. We teach, like portions or anything else that can help them go in the right direction, but it has to come from them. So I'm not deciding for them. I'm just showing the possibilities, and then we explore what works best. So calorie tracking is just a tool, and we need also to get away from that. So now the focus, for example, is stopping that, and maybe just tracking, a few snacks that you have. If you're like, is this like a lot of calories, or this is okay? How am I doing? Just if it gives you power, not guilt, power. So we need to get away from calorie tracking, and we're doing it fine, because it's not something that comes out of a fear or a frustration or an obsession about control. It's just something that she chose. It's empowering, and she can also stop at any time, because now she has the knowledge, so she can eyeball, she knows what she's doing, and she's not having any problems, right? So on top of all this, another important thing that we did was having weekly goals that she chose. So I'm not deciding what she was doing. It's all about collaboration. It's about finding out what works for you specifically, personally. And I have thousands of tools. We just need to see what fits you. So the weekly goals were just some, like, three small things that we wanted to do and try to achieve in that period of time, in that week, so that she had more control over her time and the goal, and she kind of had focus, right? On top of that, we increased her movement. So movement in general, it wasn't like, oh, from now on, if you want to lose all these kilos, or if you want to feel great, or just change your body shape, you need to go to the gym 4 times a week for 2 hours. No, it's not sustainable, especially if you have a career, if you have a lot of volunteering about work, and if you have kids. So what we did is being mindful. We trained a lot of being mindful, being present, and understanding each and every small decision you make in your day. If you take the stairs instead of, taking the elevator, if you bike instead of taking the car, if you go shopping on foot instead of taking the car, if you go out at the park and you play with your kids instead of sitting on a bench, if if your kids go swimming, you go with them. It's literally all these small things. It's like we introduced more movement, more conscious movement in what she was already doing. So it wasn't something extra. It was easy to do. And take the train, get off the station before, so you have a little bit of walking as well, and it's gonna take you max 10 minutes. All these things at the beginning. Then slowly we introduced home workouts, because she wanted to try, she wanted to feel stronger. So we had some strength workouts at home, twice per week, nothing crazy, twice per week. Home workouts that I prepare for her, of course, based on her level and what she wanted to achieve. And because there were home workouts and just body weight, and she didn't need crazy equipment at all, she was able to keep that up also on holiday. So when she went on holiday for a few weeks, she could bring that with herself and keep doing that if she wanted, on top of all the walks and the sightseeing you do, right? So that felt organic and felt, well, good. And apparently it's something that she still keeps up, so we're still doing it and it still feels great. Then sometimes some weeks she was like, oh, I can do it 3 times this week, okay, let's do it 3 times this week, but without the stress of, oh, if I don't reach the 3 times or more, I'm gonna, not seeing the results. We really had to train the kind of getting away from the obsession of the result and focusing on the obsession of the process, being present and kind of genuinely obsessing in just in a way of being focused and wanting that, but without feeling the negative feelings inside of it. So we literally put all the focus on easy guidelines, and so she was able to, go to social events, go to weddings, and going out and drink a beer with friends without having um, to restrict herself or not to do it, or be at home, because she knew what she was doing and we had a plan for her. And we scheduled her time better, so just kind of taking 10 minutes a day or half an hour every second day where you sit with yourself and you evaluate, you relax, you plan things, you make a plan. That is, it doesn't take more than 10 minutes if you know what to do and what to focus on. And that's what we actually do in the coaching program, right? So all these things went into literally just shaping her lifestyle, or like the decision she was making every day, into something that made more sense and broader to this result. So it had like, what kind of disturbed me or makes me really wonder about this industry and what people are doing out there is that all the time she was like, this doesn't feel like a diet. I'm losing weight, I'm seeing progress, I feel stronger in my body, I feel better I feel better when I look in the mirror. I'm able to eat with my kids and make food for my kids and myself without feeling I'm on a special diet. This is too easy, feels too easy, it's unreal. And that is crazy, because it should feel that way, because it's the only way that you can keep it sustainable for a longer period of time. If you cannot do something for the rest of your life, you shouldn't even start doing it unless you really have like a strong objectives. There are exceptions, right? But you know what I mean. It's like it needs to be sustainable in the long time. Otherwise, you're gonna go up and down and have periods of time where you kind of go all in and focus and train 2, 3, 4 times a week and eat super healthy and don't eat sugar and don't go out and sleep well and all that. And because it's not sustainable, you're gonna fall off. And then what happens is like you just let go at some point because it's way too much. You're not taking care of your mental health, you're not taking care of the little steps, and you're just going all in an unhealthy way, trying to be healthy. So you're kind of being super unhealthy trying to be healthy, and you see where I'm getting at. So, to sum up, and not to take too much of your time, this was what we did was understanding what she was, so diet screening, see what she was doing, making the small changes based on what already she was doing, introducing knowledge and the power of knowledge in what is what, and taking away some myths of all the weird myths that are out there. I don't even have the time to go through them all. There's plenty, and there's a lot of BS out there. So you need to pay attention to who you listen to, what you're doing, and literally like listen to yourself, to your guts, and how your body reacts, right? You are a special individual, you're unique. So whatever is out there can work for some people, might not work for you. And your life is not just fitness or just your body. Is your mind, is your mental health, is your relationships, is your environment, is your stress levels. So you need to take all of that into consideration if you want to create real change. And we increase the movement, right, gradually in daily activities. We train twice a week with a home workout that she could easily do in half an hour max. And having kind of accountability, of course, I forgot about that, but of course, accountability. She was able to write to me and be in contact with me with questions, or updating me. I was asking questions: how's the week going? Do you need any help? And all that. Can you like try this and let me know, via text, of course. And we had like weekly or bi-weekly calls, so that we could also coach her into like some deeper stuff, right? Some more mindset stuff and mental health things that of course go with that. if it doesn't come from a place of growth, empowerment, and love, and it just comes from a place of fear, of regret, of frustration, you will not really feel good about the process. So the way, I think, the secret ingredient of that, where she was able to lose 10 kilos in only 16 weeks without restrictions, without diet plans, is for sure that we took the whole person and took away the fear, took away the procrastination, all the doubt, the self-doubt, the self-hate, and put more compassion, put more empowerment, put more knowledge, put more easy steps, focus on being present and mindful, and having to focus on the right small things daily for a longer period of time. And yeah, so I hope, guys, I really hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about the actual strategy or the process, or just please comment congratulations, give all the love you can to my client. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you are in a similar situation and you're struggling with something. You know, my inbox is always open. I'm happy to have a call or a chat with you, and see how I can help you or just guide you through something. I wish you a great day and rest of the week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.